Good Friday evening. So how's everybody tonight? Looking forward to a nice weekend, I hope. Okay, so we are on part 2 of the toilet paper ocean pause. And so the toilet paper has dried with the waves, so we're going to paint now. Paint the base, which is what you would see at the bottom of the beach, the ocean area. So the colors I'm going to use are Josana. They're acrylics. And for the beach area, we are going to use mustard seed and mousse. Okay, and for the bottom of the ocean, we are going to use still water, which is perfect, and vines. And we're going to kind of blend these all together. I'm using just a piece of parchment paper for my dabber, and I'm using dry brushes. I have some water here if I think we're going to need water, but I'm hoping not. So, because I don't want to mess up the toilet paper. So see, we have our dry waves. Now, so I'm going to start up in the beach area. So I'm going to shake up my paints. Do I need to? Yes, I do. Some of these colors I haven't used yet in anything. So we'll take off the little caps. These are pretty thick paints. So there is our mustard seed, and we will add some of this mousse. And what I think I'll do is just put out all the paint colors. I think I've already used, yep, I have, so that's good. This is the still water. We'll put the greens over here. Boy, these are thick. Come on. Oops. And now the vine. I don't think I've used it yet. Yeah, I have. Okay. Don't remember in what, but that's okay. Squeeze. Problem is the bottles, the containers are really stiff. They're not a flexible plastic. Okay, so with the beach, I want a softer. So I'm taking my softer dry brush. And we're going to start where the closest to the water. So it will be a bit darker, looking like it's wet sand, right? And I'm just going to dab it. I'm not too worried if I get a bit on the waves because I will be painting the tops of the waves white. So once this dries, I can paint right over top of the color with the white. Try to get into the nooks and crannies because I'm doing a transparent color with the resin over top. So I'm going to go behind this wave too, with the darker color. That turned out a bit light. There we go. And down in this corner here. I think I will go down the side of the board. Not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I'm going to bring the color down. Same with over here, down the side of the board. Now I'm going to take the lighter color, add a little bit of the dark, but make it more the lighter. And just go up here. Then I'm going to add, after real sand before I resin it, at the top, which will be even lighter than this. So it will look like the different levels of wetness of the beach. This also gives it a different texture down here where the toilet paper is underneath it. A little rougher sand than that will be up at the top of the beach up there. Again, down the side. And up the top. And the way I've got this so that the water comes this way, we're going to want it to look a bit wetter up this way, over on this side. Okay, so there we've got the sand. The look of the sand. Now we are going to go, and I am going to add some of this mustard, some more of this mustard up here. Seriously, these are hard to squeeze. To some of the light green. And we're going to go with the light green first because it's closer to the beach. So it wouldn't be as deep. The water wouldn't be as deep above it, right? So it wouldn't look as dark as when we get further out in the ocean. Remember, this is supposed to be the bottom of the ocean, close to the beach. So where you'd be able to walk out still. Out here will be the dark because it will be getting over your head in that area. This is why I like to use the dry brush in situations like this, because you're not making the water runny, and I get to give it texture, or I mean the paint runny. I get to give it texture, not only with the toilet paper underneath giving it texture, but just dabbing the paint on is texture. So I need just some more of the vine, because I have a bit to do, and more of the mustard seed. There's no wave over here, so I have lots of room to play. Down the sides, remember to do your sides. Like I said, I'm still not sure exactly what, but it will probably be just the resin, so I don't think I will paint the sides any other color but what's here. So do your sides. Watch out for brush hairs. Got a wave here, so we've got to go around him. Just keep patting till you've covered what you want to cover. Again, there's no wave right up here, just a lot of texture, which is exactly what the beach under the water right near the beach would look like, because the ocean waves are pushing the sand around. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little of the darker green to this. And do down in here, we're getting a little darker now. And I know this probably looks like crap at the moment, but I am hoping this idea turns out fabulous. But if not, hey, I am having fun. But when don't I have fun? When I do my art? Okay, that's not true. When something really, really goes bad, that's not so much fun. But, you know, we live and learn, right? How are you ever going to learn anything if you don't make mistakes? It's the same with our kids. We can tell them all the mistakes that we made in our lives and hope that they don't make the same mistakes. And you know what? If they listen, chances are they won't make those same mistakes. But I'll guarantee you they will make tons and tons of their own. Ones that we wouldn't even think of, because it's their lives. But that, we just have to keep telling ourselves, is how they're going to learn, just like we did, and still do. It's a great part of life, is it's a constant learning. It's full of educational stuff. I think I've personally learned more, definitely in geography and history and stuff like that, in my adult life than I ever did in school. It bored me in school. Now I am so interested, and I know having the internet helps big time because one, now I've met people in other parts of the world, and so of course I am interested in what goes on in their country, their religions, their beliefs, what animals live in their country, where their country is on the map. So there's my geography. You know, who are their families? Where did they come from? All that. It's really interesting. And I love getting to know my friends, my new friends, and all that information. Boy, I'm going through a lot of paint. So, yep, making mistakes is a live and learn. And it's a good thing. Okay, I don't need as much of this now because I'm getting into the darker, but I do want to touch. Okay, so now we're getting darker. We're near the very end. So I'm going to blend it all together down here for the dark. The two greens and a tiny touch of the mustard. Brings us into the dark because we're deeper in the ocean now. Go make sure you get under your wave. That's a piece of the toilet paper that wanted to dry sitting up. So I just kind of flattened it down. Actually, there's a great big hunk of it right here. So I'm just going to take it off and paint there. Yep, I need a little bit more. Good thing about the board being a tanny brown, if there are any spots, and I'm sure there's a ton, that the dry brush isn't completely covering, it still is the color of sand. So, and there's another brush here. just don't want too much of the white toilet paper to be showing. Because that definitely would be too white for the bottom of an ocean. Okay, so there we go. This is where I'm leaving this. Let this dry. And I'm going to think about this because somehow I want to do the next coat, put the sand on, do the next coat of resin clear. I got to paint these white and see if I can get some resin in between. I could brush it on and use the ink pens that I won from Artie Sue, because these are the colors I want to use. So I can see, I can paint on the resin in this area and with the ink and paint these white. Just, I'm going to let this dry before I paint the tops of these white. Do the sand, and then we will top coat it. But I will, you can come along on the ride with me when I do these tomorrow. Hopefully this paint is dry by tomorrow. I can't see why it wouldn't. It's dry brush, so there's no extra water in there to evaporate. So we will see. I have brushes to clean, and I'm getting closer to, I've got all the sanding, the patchwork done on the walls upstairs. I've got all the sanding done. I just have to wipe down the baseboards, which I'll do tomorrow after we hit Costco. And then Gavin's going to tape for me, and I can paint the walls. And then the last thing I will do, second last thing I will do, is paint up the trim, bring them back to a nice white. It's kind of hard when you got 1 dog, 2 grandkids, and 3 the vacuum. You know, if you want to vacuum up close to the wall with dog hair, you can't really worry about banging into your baseboards, but over time they take a beating. So I want to brighten them back up. And then next week, hopefully midweek, I can start spring cleaning and get my house back to the way I love it. So fingers crossed, everything goes well. I'll bring you on down. You can take a peek at what the painted version now looks like. See, this, the light brown is already, the tan is already drying. It's almost completely dry and blended into the MDF board. So this should be ready tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening for me to do the alcohol ink resin. We will see how that goes. Okay, so you guys have a wonderful Friday evening. I think I am going to try to get this part and yesterday's part up tonight so that you're up to date with me, okay? So have a great weekend, guys. Bye.